Welcome to Perfect Day at CocoCay. This is our first time exploring this beautiful island because unfortunately, on our first cruise that had this on the itinerary, we did not get to make it because the weather was too poor. So we are really excited to experience the perfect day here on CocoCay and explore the island, and we are going to be focusing on the things that are free or included with your cruise fare that you do not need to pay any extra for. So come along with us and see what we get up to while we explore this island.
CocoCay is the Royal Caribbean private island offering a perfect day in tropical paradise. But if you've never been there before, you may not know what to expect, how to get around, and what you can do without shelling out more money. We kept our day on the island free without paying for any extra activities, cabanas, or private beach club experiences. So stick to the end and see what we thought of our free day on the island and some tips based on our time here.
We just arrived at CocoCay and we are one of two ships that are currently docked here, and we are pretty excited because last time we came here we weren't able to actually get to the island. Our day was canceled here, so it wasn't very perfect. But now we're excited to go experience perfect day at CocoCay.
The first thing I'll note is that it is quite a walk to get down the pier. There's not much shade coverage and it can get kind of windy, so if you do have mobility issues, just be aware of that. It took us about 8 minutes at a leisurely pace to get from the ship to the island, and we did see a pier tram running throughout the day.
So when we arrived to the island, I'm not gonna lie, we were a bit overwhelmed. There was a lot going on and a lot of things to look at and see, and we didn't know where we were headed. So luckily they do have some maps throughout the island, and there was one right at the entrance that we were able to go take a look, and they even had some staff there that were helping you decide where you wanted to go and how to get there.
On our way to the tram, I did notice the zip line and rules that were posted. This is an extra activity if you want to reserve it on the app in advance of your trip. We didn't do this and we're keeping our day free, so we decided we would take the tram around the island to check it out and see where we actually wanted to spend the day. When we arrived, there was barely a line, so we were able to just get right on a tram, but later in the day, this place got quite busy. They do have 2 different tram services here, one for the island and one that specifically takes paying guests to Hideaway Beach.
Alright everybody, good morning and welcome to the perfect day at CocoCay. My name is Sylvan. I'll be taking you to our Caribbean stops around the island, which includes the Chill Island, the Oasis Lagoon Swimming Pool, Crazy Bay Beach, Coco Beach Club, and South Beach. Kindly ask that everybody keep all hands and feet inside the vehicle until it comes to a complete stop and enjoy the ride. Thank you everybody.
I highly recommend taking a tram ride all the way around the island if it's your first time here. It really gave us a good look at the different areas and amenities, we saw all of the tram stops, and it was better than just looking at a map to get a feel for the areas. Now enjoy the rest of our tram ride as we pass by a few of the stops.
So we took the tram all the way out to South Beach, which is one of the further beaches away from the main area. But now we're about to head over on the nature trail to Cove Beach, which is the most secluded beach that you can get to that's included in your cruise fare and you don't have to pay extra for. Before we go there, I did want to let you know more about the South Beach area because it is really nice. First of all, there are some paid day beds and cabanas over here that you can pay to use if you're coming here, and you do have to reserve those in advance, I believe. And there's tons of chairs and umbrellas that are just open and free for use. So it's first come, first serve for the chairs and umbrellas, and you can get front row without having to pay any extra for an umbrella or anything. They are included. There's also a bunch of washrooms throughout this area, and they were super clean when we went to them. It may just be because it's a little bit early in the day and there's not a lot of people here yet, but so far I would give it a thumbs up for the washrooms because when we used them, they were quite clean. Over here they also have a couple of bars where you can get drinks, and there's a snack shack where you can get some sandwiches and things like that at lunchtime.
Another thing I really liked were the hand washing stations that were found around the island. They were typically located near the buffets and snack shacks. I also liked how much seating there was with tables to eat near the food locations. South Beach was definitely one of my favorite spots on the island to escape the crowds.
I also think it's really cool that they have so many free and included activities. So they have a basketball court, they have pickleball, there was a volleyball court, they had cornhole, I believe, a Jenga set, ring toss. There was just a lot to do over in this area. So if you're looking for some free activities to do while you're sitting by the beach, you can find them here.
At the sports pavilions, you could also get towels and rent beach mats for the water, but we passed on by to get a tropical drink at one of the bars because we were on island time.
Toward the end, where they have the daybed rental, is a little bit more quiet, and there are some seats over here that aren't as popular as the ones over by the main area, and it could be because it's more quiet over here. They don't have the music pumping like they do over at the main beach area here in South Beach. So if you want a more peaceful environment, maybe just keep walking a little bit further down the beach, past the cabana rentals, and you'll find this little beach area. So as you can see here, there is hardly anyone over here. There are even still some front row seats with umbrellas right at the beach area. So if you do pass the cabana rentals, you can find this section, and it is a little bit more chill. Now this nature trail that will take us over to Cove Beach, which is the more secluded beach on this island, or the Cove. So you do have to walk to get there. It does not look like the trams run to this beach. The good news, though, is that this path seems to be very shaded. Well, a little change of plans here. We were going to go down to the Cove and take that nature trail, but I don't know if you can see behind me. The skies are pretty gray over there, and there is some rain rolling in. So we are going to skip it, but just know that there is a nature trail that can take you down to the Cove area, and the Cove is included with your cruise fare. You don't have to pay extra. It's just a more secluded area of the island.
We decided to head back to the main entrance of the island because we didn't want to get stuck out at South Beach if it stormed, and there was quite a downpour. We hunkered down under one of the umbrellas with a big group, and I still managed to get my entire backside soaked, but it passed over in about 10 minutes.
If you still want to swim at the beach but don't want rough waters, you can head on over to the Harbor Beach area. It's kind of a lagoon, so it's inset a bit more, and it does have calmer waters there. It was quite busy. There were lots of families there with younger kids, so if you do have younger kids and want a nice calm water area to go to, that might be a good spot for you. We just went, got drinks at the bar, stuck out some rain under an umbrella while it rained a bit, and then we headed on our way, but it did look like a nice area.
After the rain let up, we continued exploring and took a minute for a quick photo op. The island has a straw market shopping area with lots of vendors, so even though it's a private island, you can still purchase souvenirs and trinkets here. And right near the market was the Chill Island and Breezy Bay areas, where there was tons of complimentary seating with umbrellas. This is also where you could go on your jet ski tours and excursions, and also find the kayak tours, snorkel shack, and sports pavilion. There were also cabana rentals and the Coco Beach Club with overwater bungalows. They even had a private pool there according to the map, but unfortunately you do need to pay admission for this area, so I couldn't take a tour around. And there are plenty of food options on this island. If you're looking more for a buffet style, you can head on over to Chill Grill or Skipper's Grill. We went to both just to take a look, and they had the same stuff. They also have snack shacks around the island, and they have burgers, fries, brownies, funnel cakes, mozzarella sticks, and so much more. And we did try the brownie, the mozzarella sticks, and a funnel cake, and I would give them all 2 thumbs up. Alan didn't particularly care for the brownie or the funnel cake, but he really enjoyed his mozzarella sticks. At the buffet area, you can get things like fruit,
salad, they have burgers and hot dogs and fries. They also had tacos, which is what we got for our lunch today, and it was quite good. They had a good variety, and I thought that it was very well kept and not too busy. And I will add that we were there at lunchtime, so it was the lunch rush and it didn't even feel that busy.
And right outside of the buffet area, we found a very popular spot where you could get soft serve ice cream. I wanted to try the snack shack later, so we didn't stop here on this trip at least.
Now, if you want to spend your time swimming in a pool and not the ocean, you can head over to Oasis Lagoon, and it has a massive pool there with a bridge over the middle, and there is a swim up bar that you can use. So if you want to be by the action, that pool is really great because the bar is right there.
The Oasis Lagoon looked like a great pool area with lots of seating, both with and without umbrellas, and even some loungers built right into the perimeter of the pool. If I go back, I think I would spend some time here enjoying the music and taking a swim. Then, after all of the exploring, we decided to head back to South Beach where it felt a bit more peaceful and laid back. We took a nature trail instead of the tram and enjoyed that it was shaded for most of the walk. We stopped to quickly take a look at the floating bar, saw some seagulls going after someone's leftover food, and then made our way to the snack shack. We got a brownie, funnel cake, and mozzarella sticks to split. I enjoyed them all, but Alan preferred the mozzarella sticks.
All right, well, this is take 2. We are going to explore the Cove and take the nature trail walk over to that beach area from South Beach. The path is a little bit more rugged than the other nature trail that we took to get from Chill Beach to South Beach, but it's not too bad. So the Cove is definitely much more secluded, and the beach chairs are almost right in the water at the front because it is much more narrow over here. However, if you're looking to escape the crowds and want a more peaceful beach vibe, then I would recommend making the trek all the way to the end to the Cove because it does look really nice, and there is even a lifeguard here. Now, I think there is so much to see and do around this island that you would need more than one visit to experience it all. And I'm not even talking about the paid activities or attractions, I'm just talking about the free attractions and activities that you can do here. If you want to add in the paid activities and attractions, you'll definitely need more than one day to actually experience everything if you want to have any time to relax. So now that we've seen what we need to see in the free areas, we've decided that we're probably going to hang here at the beach or head over to the pool and have some R&R time before we need to head back to the ship. Now for my overall thoughts of this port stop. I would say that this is the nicest private island that we have ever been to with a cruise ship. We have gone on Norwegian's private island, Princess's private island, and now this one. And this one is definitely, in my opinion, the best one that we have seen. And there is so much free to do here that you do not really need to pay for anything extra unless you want to. If you do want to get an overwater bungalow, or if you want to go to the water park or rent a cabana bed, those things will cost you extra, but there is so much seating here that's free and included with umbrellas that you don't have to pay extra for. So I thought that was great because on other private islands, you have to pay if you want to use an umbrella. Another thing I really liked about this island is that your beverage package works on the island. So when we were going around to the various bars, I just asked, does my beverage package work here? And they said, yep, it's exactly the same. So that's great to know if you are coming here, you can drink on the island just as if you were on the ship. And I would also recommend checking out the map in advance of getting here because it might help you get a little bit more acquainted with what's offered on this island. And I wish I did that a little bit more closely because it would have helped today, but there are so many staff members around that are very helpful and friendly and will direct you where you need to go. And I also love that they have a tram service here that you can use to get around the island if you don't want to walk. Now, we did the tram originally just so that we could see what was available. It was also just about to rain, so we didn't want to get caught out walking in the rain and not knowing where we were going. So the tram service was really helpful, and I really enjoyed being able to just get on, see what the different stops were, get back to the tram station, and then decide where we wanted to go, if we wanted to just walk or get back on another tram. A couple of tips for you if you're coming here. If you want to go snorkeling, I would recommend bringing your own snorkel gear if you have it, because it would save you some money on renting it and it's probably cleaner. And secondly, they do have flotation mats here that you can use out in the water. I haven't really seen many people using their own, but you could probably bring your own floaty if you wanted to use in the pool or at the beach. Now, if you are looking for a nice quiet area, I would recommend going to the end of South Beach because there is a small section of chairs with umbrellas, and it has been really quiet here both times we've been here today. And it's not busy at all because I don't think that many people want to walk down this far. So that's a tip for you if you're looking for a little bit more privacy and seclusion. And if you do need life jackets, they have them here. There's racks around the island that look like they have smaller kid sizes all the way up to adult sizes.
Then our perfect day at CocoCay sadly came to an end and we had to make our way back to the ship. We weren't too sad though, because we did get a great view of Star of the Seas as we sailed away. And this might be the closest we'll ever get to it for the foreseeable future. Overall, it was a great day exploring the island.
Well, I hope you enjoyed coming along with us to explore Perfect Day at CocoCay and seeing what you can do for free on this island. Like I said, there are tons of paid options that are available to you if you want to upgrade your experience here, but we focused on what was included with our cruise fare. Anyways, if you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment and let me know what you liked most about Perfect Day at CocoCay if you've been here, or what you would like to do if you get to come in the future. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.